Hey, good morning. Getting set up. Spent some time thinking about the whole database thing, what to do from the migration stuff. Looked around a bit. Discovered, well, I guess I had known it was there. Rediscovered maybe that Diesel had the ability for embedding the migrations, or at least embedding the tool that runs the migrations, which is rather nice. So we'll be looking at that. Be nice. And check on the browser here, get that set up. Oh, it's black. Now we'll fix that. Doesn't know where to find Firefox. There it goes. Two more things. Close some tabs in a browser. Load up the chat. I forgot to open the chat today. Surprise, surprise. All right, now the chat is open. What else? Oh, music. Wow. Unfortunate foyer. It's funny. All right, so we're gonna get started with diesel migrations. I want to look and see if there's some things that we can take back out. I think you probably did do something that I don't want. Okay, there's stream multiplexer. This here, yeah, we don't want this file. Go ahead and get rid of this. Can I delete that whole directory? Sting barrel, delete. Yes. Oh, unable to delete it. All right. I wonder why. Oh. Oh, this isn't in there. Anyhow, we'll do it for the terminal. Testing barrel. Okay. This also means that I could. Why don't we try using these migrations? We'll try using them inside of the main server. The one thing that doesn't work for this is the whole reset thing. Yeah, we're gonna take a look, see if they have that. So diesel migrations provides functions for maintaining database schema. If you're not familiar with their migrations, it's actually pretty useful. It's like any kind of database schema management system you would build yourself. Keeps track of which ones have been run, doesn't run them again. You can reset everything. You can roll back certain ones. So you can go up, you can go down. Here's an example of a down. It just drops the table. Up, it's users table, etc. You can pretty much put any SQL in there for your database. Oh, requested resource does not exist. Documentation. Macros. There it is. Hmm. Alright, so here we have an established connection, whatever that is, that looks like it's private to this. We have embed migrations, run with output. Revert, so they have revert. Right, this is the trait migration, and it implements migration. How does that work? Hmm. That's for a single migration. They have functions. Oh, look at this. Any pending migrations. Find, mark, revert, search for directory. Oh, wow. Run migrations. I wonder how these two differ. Run all pending migrations in a given list. Ah, and this one just runs them all that have yet to be run. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of useful things in here. Alright, so we're going to try to use these for the... Actually, where are we going to use these? Let's use these for... Not for the main server. I don't want to do that for the main server. We're going to do that for someplace that needs it. And right now the place that needs it is... I think it's... Spiner needs it. So Spiner has this test run. It also has lib, and at the bottom of lib we have some tests. Now these tests down here, testing soon or never, testing login failure. So these tests here actually need a database. The problem is I have to set the databases up before running in here. It would be nice if these could set up their own database. It'd be nice. You know what? Some of these are actually like integration tests. They should probably be moved out into integration. Okay, so before we do that, let's check our git status. I made some things public. Let's git status server. What changed here? Oh, that's right. We did move the init. Ah, Tokyo lets you pause advanced time. Yes, that would be nice. Good morning, Museum. Seems great. Oh, that's for the dev stuff. Okay, that's fine. I wonder why that has a cargo log file. Oh, you know what? I was doing the, what was it? Harpolin? The source control code coverage tool on that. That ended up creating a bunch of stuff there. What's game types? Game types. Target. Alright, we'll leave that. Here's an example of using it. They should be like 6+ tests did all in one go. Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. Tokyo time advance. Nice. From seconds. So you just use durations. Able to await that. Got it. Huh. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. And you can unfreeze time. Wow. You pause before you do time-related things, and then you can advance, change time, and unfreeze. Got it. Oh, that's cool. That's a really neat setup you have there. Oh, I see. For this here. Ah, yes. I actually think the sooner never stuff's likely to just go away. You advance by 31 just to be sure. Makes sense. All right. I think some of these could get split out. So typically, all right, where do we start here? Let's go into Spiner, cd Spiner. Normally when I have to test Spiner, I run test run for Spiner. And that does all of these, it drops a database, creates a database, runs those. And of course it does the compiling, and then it has some environment variables and runs that stuff. It would be nice if I didn't have to do that in the script, but could just do that here. And I think I'd like to test the sort of database integration stuff here. It makes 10 writers and sends 10 messages from each writer. Only the first 20 writes should go through. Oh. That's cool. Diesel error not found. Oh, that's okay because it's actually passing. Okay, so basically trying to do the same thing, but with a diesel migration code. Oh, I see. Tokyo time instant in the non-test code for it to work. But in the test mode, mock to the possible type. Got it. All right. Hey, Museum, do you know if Rust has a way to have one single setup function before running a set of tests in a module? No, it's a normal cargo test. I see. One cell lazy static and emits text. Oh yeah. Hmm. I wonder if setting up the database over and over again for each test is actually a problem here. I don't think so. I don't think I need to mutate tests across, or mutate data across tests. Let's get the cargo file set up for this first. Cargo. Oh, I'm still in the browser. Interesting that diesel migrations doesn't take the same sort of stuff that diesel does. Oh, that's right. This doesn't even have diesel. The DB crate does. DB cargo. Ah, they think it's an anti-pattern. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, does... Oh, you know what? Cargo. Ah, there we go. I do need to give it a feature. Thank you for that tool. That's very helpful. You needed it, so you wrote it. That was very handy. That was quick. I didn't have to go search through all of their code to figure out what features they had. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so we have that. Let's set up tests with integration. Explore. Create a directory, is that just... The other stuff was just a bonus. Yeah. See, create account login should definitely be in there. What's this one? Login failure, sure, why not? Sooner never? No. Alright. At least 2 of these we can toss in there. Do they just need type ID? Okay. Okay. Let's get the other one working. What do I use task for here? Oh, yeah, sooner never stuff. I'm not going to touch the sooner never stuff today just because it's time's limited. I think the next change to it's probably going to be to delete it. What is it? Oh, test run. So these elements here I want to run and have different databases for those 2 different tests. It's just an example. For the main game server, it's going to be, I think, more important that we have different databases. Oh, it's useful if you're on an older version. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, that makes a lot. That, yeah, see that. Yeah. Okay. So we got that. Looking for a specific version is the true reason you wrote it. Saves minutes, yes. I'm surprised it doesn't get used more often. Or do you even know how often or if people are using it? You don't advertise your stuff? Oh, wow. Let's see. What do we normally use for? Is it not there? It is really annoying. I personally, I think those features that you built there should be in the cargo tool. I mean, having features and a way to query them is, it seems like it should be part of the standard setup. I see. Yeah. So let's see. In this case, we load the environment from that file. Better do an init. Then I think here, doing some sort of database initialization per test. So maybe adding some sort of random string to the end of this database URL here. It uses a different TOML parser. Cargo add crate. Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, using cargo add crate is just kind of a nice to have. And if I want to add something, I just go to like crates.io and click the little copy button. And using cargo add saves me seconds, but yours solves like a big problem, like a real problem. All right, so at this point I need a random string, a random number or something. Pop over here. What? Why is it white? No, like my first thought is, how do I change this to dark? I don't see it here anymore. That's strange. Ah, it's an old one. I see. Well, we'll use this here. Oh, that's cool. I hadn't seen from entropy before. That's cool. Shuffle, try fill, sample iter. They have so many neat things in here. Oh, the random crate, not rand, by the way. Ah, I see. Oh, thank you. Good point. Good point. All right, let me make sure I have that in the crate. I think it's there because we do some random stuff in here. Oh, there it is, yes. Okay, so that should be available. Will that limit it to valid database string name? Like, I guess I do want like a random set of strings, but I want like valid like ASCII characters for a database name. One of the samplers. Samplers. Sample. Oh, look at that. Random distributions, alphanumeric. Wow. Like they've already built everything here. All right. Sometimes I'm conflicted. I know I'm only going to use functions in one place or imports in one place, so I'm more likely to just toss them at the top of a function. I don't know. I don't know if that's good form in Rust though. I think coding wise it probably is. Normally glob stuff there, yeah. Oh, unused imports, yes. Okay, fine. Fine. And create a string. Okay. Take 7. Let's take. Well, let's be more adventurous. Let's take 16. Oh, does it? It has prelude. I don't know if I like the preludes though. It doesn't look like it has the distribution stuff in it though. Mostly just the traits. Okay. Oh, yes, I need a thread RNG for this. Oh. Ah, look. So we also have RNG in here for other reasons. Alright, but for this here, now I need to set an environment variable. So let's get the current environment variable for, was it database URL? We'll get that. We'll then try to initialize the database with that plus like an underscore suffix on there. It doesn't need to be mutable. Oh, I'm not planning on actually changing the environment variable. Because in here, just gonna do the DB setup here. And maybe return a database handle or something else instead. Actually, that's a good point. Am I... Ooh, that's a great question. What do we give to DB here? It looks like we create a new DB with concurrency, etc. What happens when we create a new database? Create pool. Okay, so this is doing that. I mean, we could change this so that we pass in the database URL. That's possible too. Yeah, I would rather kind of work away from using the environment variables. Like in create pool, right? Let whatever is creating the pool get the environment variable. And I kind of like using environment variables, but I don't like them to be used as like a crutch or something. Okay, so yeah, I could absolutely see these things getting set up there. But really, the first thing I want to do is set up the database. Let's run the migration scripts for each individual one of these. All right, how do I do that? I'm looking over here, those following along. They have functions, they have all sorts of cool stuff. They have run pending migrations, which might be useful for something like this. We give it a database connection. Let's go from there. And this does mean that I might need to set up some sort of database connection in order to run these. I had been letting database do that. And that brings up another idea. What if this information, this sort of setup stuff was moved into database? So instead of kind of doing this sort of stuff out here, setting up the database, I mean, not this stuff. What if this guy here, the DB new piece, found that it didn't have a database, would actually set it up. Let's say I created a database pool and did some sort of migration in there based on the name that it was given instead of the environment. That might work out pretty well. Just have it in one core location. That might be a lot easier to test instead of littering the rest of the code base and all the other crates that are doing these setups. Yeah. All right, I feel like we're doing this over here, doing the migration stuff over here instead. All right, but getting the database URL, I think we can do that over here. probably still have some sort of shared place for something like this. I mean, even if it is off of like a db/test URL or something like that. With the outline. Full size. There's DB. Pull DB. Database. Right. Probably around here somewhere. So yeah, that's just strings. String. All right. So that goes back to normal. And then we'll change the sort of the calls to creating new databases. They have to pass the URL in that they want to use. Probably means that we could create a function db URL. That shouldn't be .env, it should just be env. All right, let's fix the rand thing. Oh, I don't have dev dependencies. Dev-dependencies. Okay, so it's just dependencies with dev hyphen in front of it. Where are we going? There we are. Be able to close. Now we also need migrations in here. Where did we have that? Was it in Spiner? Yes. That goes away. And this is going to be a regular dependency here. see, Rand should be available now. Is it Rand? No, it can't be that. Oh, I forgot to give the dog her poof today. Let me go get that for her. Be right back. Yeah, the floor in here is cold and hard. Likes to have her little dog pillow. It's not all that little either. Oh yes, it's not a dev dependency. Alright. Okay. That works. Wonder why it doesn't need to be mutable. Okay, now that's going to break everything. This is in Spiner. This is in the test code in Spiner. All right, same thing with the account CRUD stuff. Server main. Oh, I think this whole thing's going away. Because we really don't need the override. Let's go back to main. Server main. I gave it the wrong one here. This is the only one that should be the normal one. So when we have a database, we want to add a function on there that says like run migrations or something like that. so that all of the test code won't have to know how to do that. But it's kind of I think it's more going to be ATB. Something more like that, really. Nothing says like use this with caution other than like a really long function name. Oh yeah, I don't know what we would return here. Maybe bool or something. Result. Who knows? We'll find out in a minute. So that should give us the ability to get a database handle. Then we can just run the migrations. We might need to create the database if it doesn't already exist. Alright, let's keep going. Because what they want here for see migrations, if we go back to the browser. For this connection, they want that, where con is a migration connection. Or T is connection, diesel connection. Okay. Database URL could be that. And what is this backend type? It's funny, I could see that this is eventually going to get split out into maybe a second crate, like a DB migrations crate or something else. It really depends on if Diesel is going to be getting async support. Because if it doesn't get async support, then I'll be switching to like Tokyo Postgres. And if that's the case, then in the main game server, I'm probably not going to compile against Diesel, which means that only for the test code would I need the migration stuff. So I'd pull all of that out of this crate. But we'll do this iteratively. Because at this point, things are already wired through. Okay, create DB and run migrations. We have immutable self. Self isn't being used. What is a self? DB connection. Huh. I have to await it. something and the error. All right, so there we have the database connection. And we can try running migrations. Where'd that code go? Go to the browser a bit. Step back. For migration connection. So we give it a connection. Goodness, and that's it. Then we get a result back with a run migration error. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Oh, run migration error. Let's capture that. Where's DBR? There it is. Oh, that's private. Where is run migration error? That is diesel migrations, top level. And I've left you in the browser. Apologies. Okay, so where was it? Nope. Over here. We added to DB error. I actually want another space there too. A little easier to parse for my eyes. Okay, so that's all together. Server should be fine there. Let's go back into some of the integration tests, like account CRUD here. All right, now here we have a DB pool, or rather a DB. Nomad, good morning. Oh, I'm excited to see what that is. I think it's gonna bomb out right there. Not sure why. Probably because we did not create the database. We'll see if migrations actually create the database. How are you, Nomad? You having a good weekend? I hope you're all having a good weekend. Hmm. Yeah, it's sitting there for a while. I wonder what's going on. Let's see, I woke up late. That wasn't that bad. Actually, I wasn't feeling well like the end of the last, I don't know, couple days. Last night I was feeling better. I decided to do kind of my exercise stuff again, and it just wiped me out. I my jump rope stuff is what I do. So normally, like for exercise stuff, I'll either do some like weights. In my office, I've got a little my quote unquote office. Yes, I've got a weight bench and some weights, pull-up bar, that sort of thing. And then for cardio, I do jump rope because I can't stand running. Oh, I can't stand running. I just can't stand running. Okay, so we need to create database for this. Interesting. How do we do that? All right. What can we do with con? What is con? Unknown. Really? Oh, here it is. DB pool get should give us one of those back, which is R2D2 pooled connection of type DB connection. Type DB connection is connection manager PG connection. We should be able to do anything on there. You basically do no exercise. I do as little as possible. Alright, let's see what we can do with a diesel PG connection. Alright. Build transaction. Connection. Batch execute query. Oh, interesting. Update and fetch results. So if we have one of these and we just want to run some SQL, I guess we could do it here. That. I guess the other way of doing this would actually be to use the diesel code for that. They have a create. Constructing a query. I wonder if they expect that the database is already connected or created for this. What was the error that we had? The error is failed to create a database pool. I see, so we have to do this before. Okay. That's interesting. See, oh, look at this. The new errors are giving us much, much better line numbers. That is so cool. I really like that. 52. I see. So we call create pool from where? New. All right. Let's create another one of these. I'll create. We'll do stuff here instead. So given a DB URL string, how do we actually create a new one of these? Always just let external migration scripts and setup scripts actually handle this. So in this case, what do we do? We need to actually connect to Postgres, create a database, and keep going. Okay. I wonder if we have to set up permissions on that. No, it should be all right. I can set up permissions outside of that with some matching so that we have access to those elements. Okay. So for the moment, let's figure out what is Diesel actually using under the hood for this, so we're not pulling in more crates. What does Diesel use for its database connection stuff? Oh, no, not the documentation, not repository. Oh, I want to know which crate it's using. Will that do it? I didn't know. Goodness. Oh, it's the dependencies. Saving everybody minutes. Oh, wow. They have R2D2. I don't see it. I mean, unless it's this. Is it this one? EQ? Oh, I'm in the browser. Thank you. Huh. So I should be able to create a type similar to what R2D2 is creating in order to set up the connection. Wrappers over C, C++. Ah, I see. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. There's this. I like the MySQL client one, SQLite one. Got it. All right, so let's chase down this type. When we call create DB, actually it's up at the top, isn't it? DB connection, the PG connection. Let's look at the docs on that again. We'll desperately try not to leave people here. Raw connection. Okay, so I can just call establish on this type. It should connect. I can execute. Interesting that it's hidden. Wonder why they would do that. Wow, there's a lot of stuff on here. Okay, let's call establish. Come back to the code. So we want one of those. Establish, and we give it the DB URL. So do we need to clone that? Establish is the only way. No function associated name found for that. Do some. Oh, it's not in scope. I got stuck in the little window there. Need to set a marker here. I'm jumping around too much. Oh, they also Oh, that's funny. Actually, does that have? Oh, it's a result. Yeah, okay. So this one is for. So it'll show all those glob imports that have lived on it. Oh, not the way to use preludes in public libraries. I wonder if they do that because they just don't want to break everything, right? They did it wrong in the beginning, and there's so much code built up around it that they just don't want to break it. There we go, back to the code. Unless they hit 1-0 super early. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let her out. Okay. She must have heard something passing by. But docs inline is the only doc change, not a code change. Wow. Oh, Rust 1.0. Wow. Connection error. Did I just do that? Connection error, there it is. That's so weird. Why is Cargo Watch not behaving well? It should, if I come back over here and I hit save, it should kick off the other one. Unless it's building something in the background, who knows? All right. Mismatch types. Yes, this needs to be an OK self. And this here. Oh, one more thing to add. Result E. Result equals that, and then we'll have to do something with result. What type is result actually? Does this give us back query result? Okay, right now I just want to make sure it's not an error. See, this stuff over here just isn't going. I wonder why. Oh, I'm in Spiner, that's why. Oh my goodness. Yeah, everything seems to be unwrapping okay. STB, yep, that's gone. We're gonna get rid of that. This is just db db create. You know what? Let's just do new for now. In fact, that's also wrong. db new wants the pool size. Oh, oh, there it goes. Huh. Tests. Server link dead, yes. Okay, let's fix that up. DB concurrency. And this should be test URL. That's not what main was doing. Oh, it's calling DB pool size concurrency. Fine, fine, fine. Man, I love Rust Analyzer. Just being able to do things like that, where you say, oh, where is this being used? Find references to this function and it shows them to you. That is so nice, so handy. Okay, so now let's go use that new create function, which should be in dblib. Instead, call this in one of our tests. It was where that CRUD test we were working on. Which buffer did? Oh, account CRUD. There we go. Create. Probably rename the other function here. This one, the create DB and run migrations. Maybe just run migrations. Oh, that in the wrong spot. Create here. unwrap that. Yeah, I really don't like the name of this create yada yada thing. Just call it run migrations. There we go. Alright, so we have that. Let's go back into Spiner. Cargo test. Big money, big money. I'm surprised it takes so much time for that. Okay, so same spot. Sooner never. Oh, sooner never failed. And where are the integration tests? Where's the CRUD tests? Oh, I have to mark them as tests, don't I? They are test-based. We should have seen login failure here. Oh, no. That one's somewhere else. Strange. A bit of obscure stuff. Oh, you can make it do Dalton. What? Terse. Oh, this looks like, well, what is that format? The, test output notation? There's a specific name for that format. That's cool. I like that format, actually. Thank you. I'm glad they have that. Like every other test framework. What stuff. Cool. Alright, so if we instead say cargo test, create account login. Interesting, I wonder why it didn't do that before. Okay, it's probably going to bail out saying that it couldn't do that. Because this needs to be, instead of new, create. Oh. Can't be a result. Oh, and it even explains how to use the test framework. Oh, that's funny. Hey, there we go. Quick error. bad connection, saying that does not exist. Well, I guess I don't really want to connect to that. I just want to create database. Can you not create databases with a connection? I guess what are we connecting to, right? All right, let's figure this out. I mean, this might be just how Postgres is different than like MySQL or other databases. I would expect that you could establish a connection and create a database. I know that you can do things like create DB here. And I know that if you connect, you can also create a database. So I'm guessing that our URL just isn't correct. Because it's saying it wants to connect to the database there. Whatever has admin rights. I see. So I probably need this to be 2 steps, right? One for creating the database and a different one that actually connects and returns a pool and all that. And then one to drop it, yes. Absolutely right. Okay. Clean this up a little bit. We don't need concurrency for this. Not gonna need that. We'll want our database name. Okay. So we're gonna be given something like that. I'm just wondering if there's some way to we have a test table in the main test database. That table could store all of the ones you generated. I see. True. I'm hoping to get this to a point where it's just reproducible to have, if I needed to, I could just comment out the drop if I wanted to do that. I'd prefer them to be separate instead of mixed. All right, so if we go here, oh, which one? DB, yes. Get rid of that, get rid of this. Create the database. For the database, I think we should just split the string, pull the tail bits off. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I only really did DBA stuff with MySQL, and that was a decade or more ago. More. Or, yeah, it's on the or more side. All right, so we're going to establish a connection to let pgcon equal. Now I'm just going to want the database URL up to there. Now basically want to drop off the kind of database name. I want just the host information. Actually, let's test this out. Can this work? Let pgcon equal this dot to, oh no. Create database, yada yada yada. Foobar. Let me just give you the schema and read-write access. I was at a place that had this gigantic forum, huge forum. And one of the new engineers, he'd been there for, I don't know, half a year or so. And this place was still, you know, operating without proper access controls, and this guy dropped the database. Well, it turns out that the nightly backups hadn't been working, but the weekly backups had, or at least basically they had to go back to the last backup, restore that on their giant cluster of MySQL machines. It was all sharded. And then replay the bin logs for a week or so. And it took an amazing amount of time to restore that site. I was down for a week. It cost them lots of money. So having proper access controls early on is a very good thing. Isn't that true? Like, that's always when you figure out, like, oh, no, that's not actually working. No. Okay, let's fix some of these other ones. Oh, that means I still have to do a new, though. Well, let's undo that. Both of those should really be news. The DB pool. We call create ahead of time. Pass in the DB URL. That no longer needs an unwrap. Oh, Yeah, I know that. Okay, there. Borrow those, go to definition, change the signature. Okay. That's why people came up with things like Chaos Monkey. Yes, very true. All right. Let's see. Why does it not do the other ones? Right. DB source lib. You just get the regular URL. Ha. Yeah, that was taking a while. Not sure. Oh, there we go. It seems like it's timing out for whatever reason. Like the database is local on my machine. I don't know why it takes so long to time out. Yeah, what's by the way? Oh, dash dash list. Oh, nice. Database BLSA does not exist. Oh, that's my current user. Oh, fancy. So if I don't provide an actual database in there, then it tries to connect one. Okay. And now? Test. Oh, database foobar already exists. So it, okay. Yes, foobar complete. Okay. That's good. We have that. I really don't mind having the user's database there. Something to connect to. That's fine. Especially for the test stuff. Get the database if needed. No, it's not needed. Yeah. All right, so in this case, let's do something a little bit more interesting. Let's get a, excuse me, get a subslice of this, figure out what the last index of slash is on that string. We'll pull this piece out because it could be a remote machine or something, who knows. guess we could replace that with like Postgres or something. What happens if we do that? Let's not execute this. Let's just do the connection to Postgres. Okay. Center never is fine. Taking a timeout again. All right, well, it seems to not like that. We'll just leave it like that. Connect. Okay, so string manipulation. How do we do that? Oh, actually, that passed. Connecting actually passed, and then it tried to connect to the other thing because it's expecting those databases to be created. Ah, fancy. You know what? You know somebody. Oh man. So basically, we need this string in two parts. So here we have Postgres, and this will have some sort of like legacy test random here. Right? And we're going to want to split it into two pieces. Oh, default time was 15. We're going to want to take the database piece, keep that separate, and also keep the host that we're connecting to separate. So we can connect to it, go to whatever our user's default database is, which should be just their account name. Fine. I'm okay making that a requirement. But then I need to be able to use the create in this case. Probably have to just format some sort of string or whatever. Go through here. Now this is exactly the wrong way to do any sort of database stuff like this. Do they escape with singular doubles in that? I forget. So we'll have DB name. Oh, connect timeout equals 5. That's neat. Huh. Oh, I definitely want raw strings. I'm not familiar with raw strings, like how to actually use them. Oh, I see. I see. So R and then whatever the token is here. So it could be exclamation, could be some, well, I don't know if it could be exclamation, but something like that would work. Oh, that's neat. Oh, it's only that? Okay. All right. Let's start to use DB URL. You can use 4 on the outside. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I see how it works. That's cool. I see. So strings, let's see, str has like split, split n. It has r split n. I could do, let's say, r split n and get a vector of str references. Split terminator is nice. Okay, the pattern can be any type. Where's everybody? Let's go to the browser. Except the trailing. Oh, it's skipped if any. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Pattern stuff is fancy. Oh, I see. Oh, that is nice. Hmm. Not. That's cool. So if we do r split n, we should be able to get the database name, the other piece out of there. Quote or that. Huh. Using an iterator over it. Yeah, right, right. Expected an array or slice. Oh, collect. Okay, how do you describe that? Oh, browser. Ah, this has been an awful day for browser viewing. You can't collect into an array. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. Next to make a tuple. What do you mean doing next to make? Not needing to do any heap allocation. Okay, that sounds cool. I'll expect this to come back into tuple. We'll optimistically change that. Okay, so it returns an iterator. I get that. This is what we're doing collect on. Oh, I guess if it's an iterator, we don't need to do collect. We can just do next. Right. Let mutable iter equals string split on space. Okay. Let tail equals iter next. Ah, I get you. Okay, that's cool. Got it. Yeah, that's a neat pattern. Use okay or else is next, and what I do. Hmm. Or I can use a string slice with the index of the last one. Hmm. And then do it. You let x. I see. That makes sense. Let's see. I'm going to try this with. Oh goodness. Oh, that's table name, isn't it? Oh, that's a database. Okay, now it's not going to like the options. Yeah. Oops. Expect should have a database name in URL. Something like that. Define the index of the pattern in the string. Now, I see. I think intuitively I would first do something like this because I can see the split, I can see these other elements, I see how it kind of unfolds. The pivot, which is where you'd split, subslice it, yeah. Now, this versus that. Oh, hold on a sec. All right, I'm back. Okay, so are fine to look from the back, I see. So actually I want to try getting better at, so this pattern I understand, right? But I hardly ever use slices like that. Now, to be fair, this here could be stir, couldn't it? And is it actually better to use borrowed stir instead of string? Okay. Sure is read only. Okay, that's perfect. I think that expresses what I want to do here better. All right, so R find. So in this case, we do db where all this would be. Up to and including it, right? I see. Borrowed string is only read-only because of the borrow, not because of the base type. Gotcha. Oh, string can be indexed with range operators. Huh. I need a +1. Yeah, but why can't I sub-index into it? Oh, because unwrap. Oh, I was first using an option. And this is the +1, right? Yeah, okay. There we go. The first part, then the second part. CDB. Yeah, I think it's fine to include the separator there. I think Postgres is okay with that. Oh, I got one more of those to do. There we go. Oh, it wants that. Okay. Let query equals that. Wouldn't mind actually logging that. Yeah, I was just thinking that I'd like to trace that out. Actually, TI, look at that, trace. Okay. So we have that. Cargo test. Oh, I didn't do the no capture stuff test. Okay. Oh, wow. Relation accounts does not exist. Okay, that's neat. I wasn't expecting to see that. Create account login, panic to unwrap, DBR. Did that actually create a new database or destroy an existing one? Oh, there are 2 new databases. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we got 2 new databases. Now it's saying that relation accounts not exist. Why would it care about that? 74. Oh. 74 here. Create account. All right, let's do these one at a time now. Let's test login failure. Wow, it created a database. That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna have to get the DB cleaning up soon. Are they named correctly? They look like they're named correctly. Okay, now let's do the other one. Create account login. Oh, split out use. Oh, that's interesting. Huh, that's neat. Yeah, I don't mind it the way it is at the moment. It's kind of a nice example. I see, and that's usually what you want. Well, this has gone really, really well. I've got to be back home in 4 minutes. So, I wonder why this is failing. Something I noticed that it didn't. Oh, did we not do? Oh, we did the create. We did new. All right, Nomad. Thank you. It's always possible to make smaller slices, right? Sense. I really like Rust slices. Yeah, that is so handy. DB or L. create account test, then it fails here. We call create account. Relation accounts does not exist. That's in Spiner. Database account, we wait for that, we insert this, mount the results. Okay. If it's just doing a regular insert that it's failing. Do that again. If I go into that database locally, should actually that's weird. For this one, I do not get the same kind of tables as the other one. If we go back to login failure, go back. Yeah, the second one just isn't actually creating anything. All right, so that's the problem. What is different between these? Split, create, DB URL unwrap, DB pool, DB URL. These look the same. You'd have a struct test DB maker. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to run the migrations at the other one. Yeah, I think that's definitely called for. Argo. Perfect. Okay, they all pass. That's nice. Yeah, I like that idea. Very cool. I think I'll start working in that direction. I gotta go inside for a bit though. I gotta go. This has been fun. This has been good. I made some decent progress there. Got some databases getting created. Oh, this is good. I don't have to wait 15 seconds. Ah, good point. Well, they're never supposed to be wrong, so. The second the test is wrong. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Actually, how would I do that? Let's see, create, I'd have to give it the URL. Last slice, the test URL here. Do that, and we'd say question mark, what was it, timeout? Gonna scroll up. Connect timeout. Yeah, that'll be a good change too. That shouldn't interfere with any of the slicing. Oh, look. That didn't work. Cooling, timeout. Oh, it's just capital T. There it goes. It shouldn't matter. Alright, well, I'll look into that. I think it's still unhappy with it. Alright. I'll look into that. But thank you. I'm 4 minutes over. Gotta go. Let's see. Oh, Lime Guy is still putting up some stuff. We'll raid him today. Alright. Thank you all. Put my jacket back on. Until tomorrow. Till next time. Bye-bye.